hit him.
Touchdown, Debo in the slot. This is my end zone. Give me everything you got. Defense, hit him with that Cosa Nostra. Quan Alexander, this dance, Nick Bosa. 49er Empire, 49er Empire. This is for the fan base, die hard, set by. Stand up, 4-9 to the heart, J.E. Paul Lord back in Candlestick Park. Levi.
I don't think we're going to pass more, but I do think that means that Jimmy Garoppolo has another target now to go ahead and target besides, force feeding the ball to Kittle all the time. And he's a veteran. Brings a veteran presence. We're 6-0 right now, so playoff talks are a real thing to talk about right now. And he brings the playoff background that we need with the veteran of just the way he is as a person. I know he's going to coach up some of these young wide receivers, kind of like what Uncle Sherman's been doing for our secondary.
Are you listening? Damn.
Ronbo Sports here, representing the Niner Empire organization worldwide. New Zealand, Australia, UK, Germany, Mexico, South America, down by Brazil, and all over the USA. Fam, how you doing? Like I need to ask. You're doing fine, you're 6-0, of course you're doing all right. And looking forward to 7-0. And by the way, fam, this 6-0 start by this illustrious organization has only happened 4 times. And each and every time would follow more history. Ooh. Are you feeling it? It will be tested. It will be tested this Sunday. Because this, as far as I'm concerned, this is the first formidable team we're going to play on this season. It was not the Rams, and it certainly wasn't any team prior to the Rams. 4-2. Kyle Allen is not bad. You know what I did? I looked through every game they played this year. They look they're not easy. Okay, I mean, the Texans played good defense against them. And that's saying something because they did beat the Texans by a close margin. When you beat a team by a close score, that means you're pretty good, right? They beat the Jags, they beat the Cardinals, and I don't know. They beat the Tampa Bay, of course, but everybody beats Tampa Bay. Jameis Winston, if they ever get him to stop making mistakes, they're going to hurt somebody. But this is why I'm saying this is a game the 49ers are going to get up for. Because if I'm already concerned about it, the 49ers have been concerned about it for a long time. Christian McCaffrey is no joke. All right, and Kyle Allen, he and Kyle have gotten off to developed a lot of chemistry. I don't know. They may be a better team. I'll bite my tongue. Are they a better team without Cam Newton? Would we rather have had Cam Newton? I think we would have, honestly. But you know what? This game is not for wussies. You take on the challenges and you beat them. So the 49ers need this test because it's going to get tougher from here on out anyway. This is test number 1. Now, here's why I say that this is going to lend some integrity to this current record. Everybody we beat ain't nobody. Yeah, man, come on, man. Y'all ain't beat nobody. And I always, you know how the hood comes out of certain brothers. That's the way I be thinking. You ain't nobody to be saying that. I never tweeted. I need an anonymous name though. What I'm saying is, beat this team with over 500, well over 500, and finally, I think people will think we're real. Actually, right now, though, on every NFL network, nobody's saying bad things about the 49ers defense. They're still saying the 49ers offense is struggling, but hey, that may not continue any longer either. Ooh, other good news, though. Joe Staley, he's looking good. I don't necessarily want to see Joe out there this particular Sunday. I think school will be just fine. Let him stay out there. Let Joe, I want him to get some reps in. Let Joe get in a few reps this weekend. Because he's got to get into game shape. There's nothing you can do to get into game shape but play games. So let him get into game shape, because I figure Joe's been training, doing all his cardio and everything you got to do. But there's nothing like the game. So school starts, shares with Joe, and it looks like school's going to struggle a bit. Maybe you bring in Joe for longer periods of time. I don't see school struggling though, fam. You know what I mean? He's dealt with some pretty tough customers in his last couple of weeks, but he hasn't lost the entire war all game long. And that's what matters to me. As long as it's not an all game long thing, school ain't bad. Run school either. So with that being said, let Joe get in and get some work in so he can get a little bit acclimated back to the game. And he comes in Thursday night against the Cardinals. I think that's the best case scenario for Joe Staley and the 49ers. So we'll be fine with that. And Spoon's coming back, but did you notice how Robert, or should I say my boy Bobby Sella, he hedged a bit when somebody says, Mosley was doing a good job. Now, will Witherspoon come right back in to his regular spot? Sally hesitated. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Yeah, Sally kills me. Isn't that funny? Mosley's come in and done such a good job that it's questionable as to whether you want to remove him or not. The secondary's been rock solid. It was rock solid with Spoon, though, too. So what do you do in this situation? We'll find out soon. It ain't our call to make. We don't have to make it, and I'm glad I don't. But the headline of the week, right? His name is Emmanuel Sanders. I know. Ronbo, shut up. You said you don't want to make any trades. Stop calling me out on it. I'm letting you know I know what you know. I know. I said it. I still kind of mean it, but I do like Sanders, what he brings to the table. I do know that our offense will take on another dimension. I'm patiently waiting for our kids to hit that stride. I've come to the realization it's probably going to take Debo at least this season to get to where he's supposed to be. I kept believing that Dante was going to suddenly wake up, have a premonition, wake up, ooh, I'm Dante Pettis. Time for me to get busy. But I know, right? I believe in Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, and Santa Claus, too. Uh-oh. At least another, the Santa Claus is coming to see you, and Easter Bunny, he's going to give you some stuff. Shh. Anyway, I believe in all those people. Things. I do not destroy the dreams of children, and I do not destroy my own dreams. I want to see the kids get better. I don't want a lot of snaps taken away from them. This is my only problem. But, okay, maybe these guys can work their way in and get some snaps in, because that's very valuable. Because, but we don't know what Sanders is going to do next year. Hopefully, this all works out. But I do want to see Emmanuel out on that field for the remainder of the season. We already got him now. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm enjoying. I give you no trouble about that. Emmanuel. Hey, we already got Mosley. What do we call this guy? Do we call him E-Man too? Hey. I hit it right there. E-Man 1 and E-Man 2. Who's going to be E-Man 2? You make that decision on your own. I want to see what's going on with you, fam. Go over to the cam right now. Ladder fam. You heard Shey Lewis calling in. I was just calling him Lewis, but today we're going to call him by his full name, Shey Lewis. He calls in all the time with nothing but the best of opinions. Shey, welcome to the program, fam.
How you doing, Ronbo?
I'm always in the mood to say, man, ooh la la, because anytime the 49ers go 6-0, because this is the best start we've had since 1990. Do you know Jimmy G has been compared to Montana?
Absolutely. He's winning like him too.
He's had the same kind of start. But you know what? Let's get into Sanders, because man, I'm telling you. Oh, but you know what? Now, the 49ers, their offense is like, the passing offense has been weak, right? So they went out and got Sanders, but Shey. 49ers is the second best. They're the best team in the West as far as NFC goes. They're the best in the NFC, period, is the best, I believe. Second overall in the NFL as far as the run game's going. Now, I'm wondering now, if we picked up Sanders, are we going to start leaning more towards the pass game? Is it going to be that's A? Is it going to be B? A nice mix of the two? Or C, all of the above?
That's a great question, Ronbo. I actually want to say C. It's going to be all of the above. I think that what the 49ers are best at is obviously running the ball. We're second in the league. And it's so early in the season that if you have little bad games here and there, they actually do weigh or alter the stats a lot. Like we said, we had that mud bowl where I think offensive yards were, I think, like 130, 140 for either team. So it wasn't really the best performance and the best outing. We put up like 220, and then, we held the Redskins under like 150, 160. But I think, Ronbo, with the acquisition of, Emmanuel Sanders, it was a good pickup. Like I said, a couple of days ago when I called, or yesterday when I called in, Kittle is the main guy. He's going to be the main target. Obviously, him and Jimmy Garoppolo have a great connection together and good chemistry. And, Kittle's a beast. We've all seen Kittle, get thrown at on 3rd and like 8. And, he's short of the line to gain, and he fights for extra yards, which I think is perfect. So with that being said, Ronbo, if they double team Kittle, then you have, Emmanuel Sanders, who can run every route in the route tree, and he can get open. So with that being said, I don't think we're going to pass more, but I do think that means that Jimmy Garoppolo has another target now to go ahead and target, besides, force feeding the ball to Kittle all the time. And he's a veteran. Brings a veteran presence. We're 6-0 right now, so playoff talks are a real thing to talk about right now, and he brings the playoff background that we need with the veteran of just the way he is as a person. I know he's going to coach up some of these young wide receivers, kind of like what Uncle Sherman's been doing for our secondary. So
I'm feeling all of that, because I think if everybody thinks all of a sudden, well, we're going to start hitting targets now, because people are not, people are crying and complaining, Jimmy G ain't doing nothing this shit, because the stats don't say 300 plus every week, right? So our game, as you just pointed out, Shey just pointed out, for the people who continually to get on Jimmy G about his stats and about his passing game, Shey just put it all in perfect perspective. This is a game where we run the ball first and we set up the pass play. If we can get first downs all day, and just like Kyle said, we get first downs a lot. Right. So you don't have to go in the air all the time.
Right. Also, too, Ronbo, that's a great point. Like I said, the way that we're set up schematically, and the way that Kyle Shanahan likes to set up his offense, obviously we like to do stretch zones to the outside, right? And then that leads to, it looks like the same formation, but all of a sudden at this time, Garoppolo keeps the ball. He has a slant that's going across, or a crosser route that's going across the middle. Looks like he's going to come block a safety, but then he's like, nah, I'm running across field. And, Jimmy, hits him for a little dink and dunk. And I feel like the offense has taken a lot of hits, losing Juice, as well as losing McGlinchey and Staley. Good news, I seen Staley practicing. He was hitting the sleds today, so that's a good sign. Hopefully he might be a go for Sunday, keeping the fingers crossed, obviously, Ronbo. But like I said, the run game establishes the pass game. We go hand in hand, and, everybody's talking, we got to see that game from Garoppolo to keep us. To be honest, Ronbo, I don't really think we're going to see a 2017 Jimmy Garoppolo where, he has to win 5 straight games, because those games we were in close games, and, Garoppolo had to put the team on his back. Garoppolo doesn't have to do that this year. Garoppolo, actually, all he has to do is maintain the lead. So therefore, he's only going to make decisions that benefit the drive, that lead us to kicking field goals, scoring touchdowns. He doesn't have to throw, those 40, 50-yard games, because the defense is keeping us in the game. And his mentality, I believe, every game that he goes in, throwing the ball or looking into the scheme is, hey, I have to keep this lead for my team. I don't need to make, the inherent throws down the field that might be picked or whatnot. I don't need to air it out all the time. I just need to, control the clock, control the ball, and our team and my defense will do the rest.
Hallelujah. Yes. Now, we just lost some picks for Sanders. Right. Now, my concern was, that's a lot of capital. But here's the thing: Spoon's cousin called in just the other day, as you may know.
Right.
And Spoon laid it out, and he laid it out. He says, I didn't even think about it. 49ers, this has got to be a part of a master plan. We don't need no first-round pick this year. I do like me some first-round pick, though, because you can get the best of. We're way down around 20, somewhere between 28 and 32 is being any speculation right now. Do you go ahead and trade that and get your 3rd and 4th round pick back, which is, I'd say, whoa, that is an awesome idea. Or would you rather keep that 1st round pick, though, and do whatever and just sit out the rest of the draft almost?
Well, Ronbo, to be honest, Spoon's cousin that called in, he made up a great point. You would actually, I think maybe Jerry Fresh or my other TNT brothers, Jerry Fresh and Russo, would have came up with something like that on the call. But I guess his cousin beat him to it. But that's a great point, Ronbo. And we're a playoff team now. So our first rounds are actually looking like second rounds.
Yep.
But first rounders get paid the most by cap. So with that being said, absolutely, Ronbo, I agree with what he says. We should actually try to get a second round and maybe a fifth or sixth or seventh for our first round pick. Because in the end, it's going to be, we're going to be drafting later in the first round. So technically it's going to be like a second round pick. But I was looking at the way the cap works out. So Ronbo, a rookie minimum is $480K. So anything after the first round can be signed to a rookie minimum. The veteran minimum is $630K. So if we bring on a vet who wants to play for the minimum, it's actually more cheaper to go with a rookie minimum than it is a veteran minimum. So it's, the difference is about $150K. But when you're nickel and diming with the salary cap that we have and have to, pull a Marathi to keep the players like Armstead, Kittle, and Defoe, we're going to have to do what we have to do to try to squeeze as much money as we can out so that we can sign the big players that, obviously make us a playoff contender each and every year.
And from here, the window's going to be open for the next 5 years. So you're right. We are going to have to be very, very budget, very, very budget smart between now and gosh knows how long.
Right.
Boy.
Oh, no, absolutely, Ronbo. Definitely. So, yeah, I believe that if we trade the first round and acquire more capital, I think that's the best case scenario. We keep guys, we keep, the later draft picks, keep them young, keep them fresh. And then, obviously instead of signing veterans, we're just going to keep rotating through the draft picks that we have. So like he made up a great point, the Seattle Seahawks were going in with only 4 picks. Last year's draft, they ended up drafting 11 players. And I think that's something that, I think John Lynch is looking at like, well, if we're a playoff contender, we don't really need first round picks anymore. We know the bulk of the guys that we have that we've already drafted will keep us in playoff contention. We just need depth at this point. And, obviously, like you said, Ronbo, the window is now open. Rams had their window. The Seattle Seahawks had their window. And now I think the Niners are back at the top of the NFC West. And our window has now opened.
Oh, it just sounds so good to my ears. Hey,
absolutely.
Shey, I know you got a plan for this. Shey's birthday, he's going to be at the game. His birthday, he's going to be happy out there. I know you got it off there, but you got some plans set up for the 49ers on how to deal with the Panthers. Man, we want to hear it, man. We definitely want to hear it.
I'm going to be looking for that birthday shout-out, man.
You'll get it, too.
Everybody gets. Absolutely. So I've been watching a lot of film on the Carolina Panthers, and the kid Kyle Allen, he's a good quarterback. I think the best thing that he does better than Cam Newton, he gets the ball out a lot faster. Yes. He's throwing it faster in the pocket by 1.5 seconds, which is a lot of time.
That's way faster.
He's getting the ball out way faster. I don't know if Cam thinks to run with his legs or then he decides to pass, and that's probably why he hesitates, and that's probably why it leads him to get sacked a lot. But Kyle Allen is definitely has that, I wouldn't say gunslinger mentality, but he definitely has that, I got to get it out fast. So, but Ronbo, the main plan is not even Kyle Allen, it's actually containing Christian McCaffrey this Sunday. There's no stopping Christian McCaffrey, but there is limiting and containing Christian McCaffrey. There's a difference. If Christian McCaffrey wants to, run for maybe, let's say, 60 yards on the ground and catch another 70, 80 yards on the air, which I don't mind. I think he will do. He's practically a wide receiver. He's playing like one of the best running backs in the league. That's fine. But as long as we don't, we have the best goal line stand defense right now. The red zone percentage is insane. I think it's at like 10% where they're converting in the red zone for us. Right. So it's a high statistic that we're loading up. And McCaffrey's a small bag. He's not really a power back. So I know, our front seven will do their job. But it's I'm looking at Jaquaski Tartt this game. I think he's going to be the X factor to trying to slow down Christian McCaffrey. I think he's going to be the one to shadow. I know Quan and Wagner are athletic and fast linebackers, but I don't think they're fast enough to cover McCaffrey. You're going to have a DB or a safety on him. So with that being said, it's all about containing McCaffrey in the scheme. The scheme runs through him. You're going to see a lot of slip screens, a lot of, where he's a lot of checkdowns where he's blocking and then he seeps out into the flats, and Collins going to hit him for like, a 2-yard forward pass, and then he's going to try to make yards with his feet. Obviously they're going to run the ball because, Ron Rivera likes to run the rock. But with our front seven, Ronbo, I think that we don't allow a lot of yards on the ground right now. So I think that's in our favor, as well as our pass defense is ranked number 1 in the league.
There you go.
And we're only ranked 0.5 0.05 yard behind Patriots for least amount of yards per game. They're at 231.7 and we're at we're at 231.7 and they're at 231.2 or something like that. So it's close though, Ronbo.
But that's too close. There's no difference. And no team wants to see the Patriots and no team wants to see the 49ers as far as defense goes.
Absolutely. I mean, 0.5, I mean, it's still on the stat line. It literally says 231 and 231. So, I mean, we're still holding defense. I mean, we're still holding offense to, minimal yards. So I think the number one goal is to contain McCaffrey. If we contain McCaffrey, that means that Kyle Allen's going to have to do more as a rookie quarterback. I mean, you can see what we did to Jared Goff. We made him look nowhere near worth the money that he's been paid. But look what he did against Falcons. He threw like 4 TDs and like 300 yards, right? And in Seattle game, he threw over 400 yards and another 3 TDs. But against us, you know what I mean? He was held to 50.
Was it?
70.
It was corrected. You're right. You were saying you're going in the right direction. Yeah. I think somebody said it was 48. Yeah, I saw 48 or something.
It was a really bad number. So, I mean, if we're doing that to Jared Goff, who's, a veteran in the league, and, I mean, there's only telling what we could do to Kyle Allen.
Baker Mayfield.
If he has to make plays. Yeah. Baker Mayfield, too. So, that's another key thing that I believe that the 49ers have to focus on is obviously McCaffrey, but I don't have to tell him. I know Salah's already scheming up some stuff to go ahead. It might be something as running, instead of running our 4-3 wide 9, it might be instead of having Greenlaw get a lot of touches, you might be looking at like dime packages. And you might see Quan Williams on him shadowing McCaffrey because the guy's just that slippery. But I think they're going to start off with Jaquaski first, let him roam around. Jimmy's obviously going to, be the free safety at the top. So they're going to let Jaquaski come in the box and, follow wherever McCaffrey goes. But I want to talk about this offensive lineman for the Carolina Panthers.
All right.
Now, Ronbo, Taylor Morton is one of their tackles. I believe he's their left tackle. He has a Pro Football Focus grade of 70.3. That's not bad. He has allowed 2 sacks already, so it's not the best and it's not the worst at that left tackle. But Bosa is going to be on that side. You got to do better than 70 to stop Bosa.
You got to do because even the dude we played against last week, Washington, there was another guy before the Washington game. He had near 80, and Bosa ate him up. But
ate him up. It all goes to Bosa's technique and the pass rush moves that he does. That's been handed down from his father and now his brother that's been in the NFL. And I think that's why Bosa's doing so well. Is he's very athletic, but he's the most polished and the most sound technician of what he does as rushing the passer. So with that being said, Tyler Morton, I might have a rough day against Bosa. Now, Dennis Daly doesn't have that many snaps. He stepped in for Tyrell Worley, their right tackle. He actually has a decent grade. He has 75.7. He doesn't have a lot of snaps, but D Ford. Let me tell you something about D Ford, Ronbo. D Ford is going to eat this rookie up. He is going to eat this child up just by the pure pass rusher that D Ford is. I believe D has 4 sacks on the year.
Yeah,
could be 5. I didn't look it up, but I think it's 4.
It's 4 or 5.
Yeah, because he got one against Sam. He got another fumble sack actually. So good, sound technician at popping the ball out. So I think that that number, that overall grade is going to drop pretty soon. Just dealing with D Ford himself. But we're going to go into the interior. Where I think this is where the heart of the stoppage of the offense that is going to be for the 49ers is it's going to be really heavily on Armstead, who's having a great year, Ronbo. I know we're all talking about keeping him. We have to keep him. I mean, the guy is flourishing right now. He got a sack last game. And he's got a sack a game after that. So, he's just sacking everybody. But their left guard, Van Roten, has a grade of 61.9. And Matt Paradis, their center, has a grade of 48.3.
Oh, I love to hear those.
Absolutely. And then Trey Turner, their right guard, has 64.5. So, Ronbo, the 49ers are hands down the best coverage defense simply due to the fact that we do not have to blitz. This is the old John Harbaugh defense from 2011, where you rush 4 and you just sit in zone and you let, all the players that sit in zone, make plays for you. But we have a pass rush efficiency of over 39%, which is 40% without blitzing, Rombo.
Oh.
If we blitz a lot more, the number will obviously increase of how many pressure percentage we'll get. But Rombo, we're only sending 4 and we're getting as much as a blitz would. That says a lot about the defensive line. Rotating Ronald Blair, Solomon Thomas is showing flashes. So, and what I like, Solomon Thomas is looking great right now. And I think this might be the best role for Solomon Thomas, Rombo, is the way that the 49ers rotate him in and out. So he's not taking the interior punishment. But when it comes to passing downs, he can go ahead and just, let loose. Like, I know this is going to be a pass. I can let loose and just show my moves. And same thing with Ronnie Blair, him coming out, fresh legs and everything like that. This D-line is for real, Rombo. So with that being said, though, Rombo, I do feel like that is the game plan, is destroying the interior, is which actually Panthers love to do. They like to rush from the inside. They have Dontari Poe, Gerald McCoy, Quan Short in this game. I think he's out for the season. Something happened with his shoulder. I think he tore it or something like that. So he's definitely not going to be in this game. I don't know if he's on IR right now, but I don't know if the season IR. But Rombo, it's going to be a good game. Did you have a question, fam?
No, I was just going to say, the thing is, the 49ers, since they do have the situation they have, this is why I got a feeling this game is going to be a little more. You just gave me some numbers of offensive linemen. I said, it's not going to be as difficult as I thought to drop that poor young quarterback. So,
Oh, no, absolutely not, Rombo. Like I said, Rombo, the difference between our defense and other defenses is we established the trenches first. And we all noticed that, Rombo. And we talked about that for years on. Everybody was saying, we're not going to be good. We're not going to be bad. But we're as 49er fans and us watching the 49ers every day. I even had some friends that were Giants fans apologizing because we were talking about last year how, I don't think they're going to be playoff contenders. I'm like, no, we are. I mean, I know for a fact, obviously grabbing Nick Bosa and D4 helps, but when you have pass rush, that obviously goes in correlation hand to hand with the coverage of defense. Allows like we said, we already talked about it. The cornerbacks like to start jumping routes. They like to start breaking on things. Sherman has 2 interceptions. Quan has 3 interceptions. I mean, they're forcing mistakes. The pass rush is forcing mistakes is what every defense wants. And once you force a mistake, turnovers happen, fumbles, interceptions, pass deflections. So it's just all about putting your team in the right position when you have a great pass rush. And we've been talking about this for the longest time, Rombo, that it literally goes hand in hand. A great pass rush leads to a great secondary because it helps the secondary ease off, pressure of coverage for so long, and it just goes hand in hand. So
Shey is pumped up, and we're going to slow him down now. But Shey, with all that said, though, Shey, what's going to be the outcome of this game? What's the score?
Well, to me, the score is actually going to be 28 49ers, and it's going to be 13 Panthers.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See, I've been telling people they're not going to score 20 points. I'm glad. Shey's taking a page. I agree. 13 is enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
13. Oh, absolutely, Rombo. Like I said, the 49ers scheme is you have to defend all 11 personnel. Kyle Shanahan makes you use the whole field, right? That's, they say, okay, well, they like to run first, but we like to establish the run first and we like to play action off that. But we could come out passing too. You know what I mean? I know for a fact Kyle has some scheme plays that he has in, Atlanta that, made his offense the best offense that year because they led in every category, rushing and passing. So his scheme, it literally makes you defend the entire field, Rombo. But for the Panthers, I've seen Kyle actually dominate the defense. Yeah, they beat the Texans, but they only beat him by 3 points. It was a close game. Yeah. You know what I mean? The score was, I believe, 10-7 or something like that. It was either way, or 13-10. It was a close game, Rombo. It's not like we've seen Colin take control of the game. You know what I mean? And
Shey, the Texans are not the 49ers. We are one of the best defense league. Shey, we're gonna go ahead and wind it up though. So Shey, get ready to celebrate. And you know what I'm gonna do? We'll do the happy birthday song for you. You're gonna. I should do it while you're at the game. No, we'll do it. We'll do it on game prediction day. You got to get back in, all right? All right, Shey.
Okay, absolutely, Rombo.
Give me that shout out, Shey, on 3, 2, 1.
Go Niners, baby! Let's go!
Singing hoo la la. Oh, I know, right? Premature. I keep it warmed up though, just in case. Thanks, Shey. Always a pleasure. You can catch up with Shey. Pretty much Shey makes it into every call-in show. Dude is awesome, baby. And we're going to do his birthday this weekend. And Shey's going to be our halftime reporter out at Levi's this weekend as well. And you'll probably see him between now and then anyway, though. Hey, fam. I'm going to go ahead and give you my score right now. Here's my feeling about that. I told you we're dealing with a formidable defense this week, so we're not going to go buck wild as far as the points go. But then again, our defense is still superior to theirs for all the reasons that Shey just mentioned. Their offensive line is not going to stop this defense, fam, and you know this. This is why I'm saying I'm not giving them 20 points. I'm telling you what, I got the 49ers 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals. Because there ain't no way the 49ers, Robbie Gould and his boys are going to get it together this week. That ball's going to be flying up between them uprights, no problem. Robbie, Mitch Wish, and God knows who's going to be the long snapper, but it's going to be done this weekend. I imagine Kyle has already given all of them an ultimatum. Guys, the stress every time you guys tee up to kick the ball has got to come to an end, all right? Get over on the opposite field and get it done. Please, guys, keep smiling, Kyle. Please, guys. And that'll be the end of that. So 49ers, you do the math. 3 touchdowns is 21 points. 2 field goals is 27 points. Fam, it's 27-13. The 49ers are 7-0. What do you know? Are we gonna party again? Yeah, we gonna party again. And I'll tell you what, I'll see you I'll see you. I gotta get your scores just ahead. All right, fam. Please hit like, subscribe, and share. Tell everybody what we do each and every week, all week. Ooh, yeah, boom. A Niners!